Well. Look who we've got here.
Mate, it took something special to bring me back, and we've got something special today.
There's a lot of negotiations. I've had to fork out a fair invoice too to get you back on the pod.
I've ghosted you like 4 times as well. Like, I took the money, and then I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do this. Not gonna do this. But eventually, I felt guilty enough. Yeah, it's good to be back. Definitely.
No, it's good to have you back. It's been a while, and I think the people have missed it. Otherwise they've just been copping dating advice left, right, and center. But they kind of want to hear about real people living real lives.
Yeah, exactly. That's what reality TV is all about. That's what we're talking about today. Normally we would start our pods with a weekly update, but let's do something special today, and it's a momentous occasion. And let's do like an update on what we were doing like 2 years ago kind of thing. So I don't know if you were doing anything memorable 2 years ago. For me, I do like to keep it exciting with my updates. I'm looking at it right now. I planted my passion fruit vine, and recently I harvested it and got passion fruit cheesecake and passion fruit juice from it. So
the disappointment in our listeners that would have come onto this pod and have already had to cop passion fruit talk.
Implying you can do better. What were you doing 2 years ago, Dustin?
I reckon I've got a little bit up my sleeve. To be fair, mate, 2 years ago, I was with you when this all really kick-started. I was hanging out with you up in Longreach and got a message that I had to jump on a flight to Fiji.
You need to go back. What is going on? What have you been doing recently? What have you been watching? Like what's been going on?
I've sort of been hooked on this show, Stranded on Honeymoon Island. I think I did get an intro the first episode, so I'll admit I was probably hooked a little bit from that. I nearly thought I was going to be on. I was like, I don't know what's happened here. I think I'm going to be on in this first episode.
What is it? What is Stranded on Honeymoon Island? I mean, we've got listeners from all over the world that aren't watching 7 Plus or Channel 7. They want to know what exactly you've been up to.
Yes. So Stranded on Honeymoon Island, it is, basically everybody gets married off. So 6 couples, 12 people, and they all got married off with not a complete stranger, because there was a speed dating event beforehand, and that is where they sort of matched the couples from. And then, then they shipped them off, all got married. You didn't know who you were going to get married to. And then they rocked up, dropped on an island, nothing on the island, literally just a bed and a roof over the bed. And that's it. And then just had to survive, build a relationship, and then naturally the drama ensues.
And through a series of twists and turns, all the way up to the very last minute, you somehow ended up on the show. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, going into a little bit of the behind the scenes, a little bit of the lead up. It's you and someone else that are watching the show. I think we can safely say there's not too many people out there that seem to be tuned in. But
the pod's coming. It's coming for Stranded on Honeymoon Island. We might actually pip them.
Question number 1. What has a bigger listener base or viewership? Our pod or Stranded on Honeymoon Island?
Yeah, we only accept answers on our platform, on our Instagram. Trust Us Network.
Yeah. Now, before we jump into the questions, I have a bit of a conflict of interest. I'm a bit of a fiend for reality TV. It's I don't know how it happened. It's a bit embarrassing, but I love competition reality TV mostly. And while Stranded isn't exactly a competition, it kind of is. You want to be the best couple, or you want to find love. There's like something to gain from it. So I'm a sucker for it. Love shows like this, and I want to chat with you and get the nitty gritty, the drama, the hot takes. So there's that part of me. Then there's the other part of me that's like I've been your PR person for years now. Since we met in grade 10, I've been running sort of interference. I've been doing brand rehabilitation. I've been spruiking that you're this great guy to people, truthfully or not. And we've become friends in that time as well, I'd like to think. So there's also
later on, once I got used to sending the invoices.
Once after a few years, you realize, oh man, I'm not in the top 1% yet. Maybe I should just be friends with my PR guy. That's where we really hit it off.
Yeah.
But there's another part of me that's just like, man, I need to keep this dull, boring. I need to protect our future interests. Mostly mine. I've got things happening, in the future. So. But there's the two wolves in my mind right now that are fighting. So we'll see how we go. I'll try and toe the line. But let's jump into it. Actually, I haven't signed any NDAs, so I can say whatever I want. Quite frankly, Doth, the onus is on you to tread the company line.
Mate, everything
right?
you see on that show is absolute truth. Absolute truth.
Well, there you go. That's a good start. If I ask you a question, Dos, that you think is a little bit, can't really talk about that. Back it off because you haven't seen the questions. Again, there's no preparation here. Dos is a victim at this point. So Channel 7, if you're watching,
sue him.
No. That was a moment where I was just like, man, like, look, it's not going to happen, but man, this can ruin my life. No. But if I do ask you a question, you can use our safe word for today, which is Jim Jeffries 1% Club, and you'll silence me like Channel 7 successfully silenced your show when they bounced it from prime time to the graveyard shift. Okay, so if I ask you something Jeffries. Just say, Jim Jeffries 1% Club, and we'll just carry on. I'm happy to. I won't.
Then we'll wait an hour and start again.
All right, Dossel. Let's go into my first question here, which we've already covered, which was the bigger audience question. But when it all started, you were applying. You applied for the show. What on earth possessed you to apply for this show? And what was it like in the lead up to the speed dating?
Yeah, well, it was sort of like, I do a lot of things for the plot. You just sort of go with the flow, see where it takes you. And it popped up as I got back from South America. So I just spent like 3 months traveling. And this popped up and I was like, hey, you get to go to another country. And I was like, oh, well, I'm in the mood for that. And then they're like, and I also kind of feel like I'm the kind of guy that my life's weird, unexpected. You don't know what's going to happen. Maybe I could find love on something like this. Like, I was like, maybe, just maybe. So that was just in the back of my mind. I was like, all right, let's do it. And then you enter the process and it sort of just keeps rolling on. And I don't know, you don't really get hope at any point because you just like, there must be heaps of people applying for this sort of stuff. And you just sort of roll on different stages. And then all of a sudden they were like, hey, we want you in the speed dating. And I was like, oh, okay, this is starting to get real pretty quick. So yeah, up in the speed dating. That was pretty crazy. Like, I was definitely one of the youngest guys there. So it was sort of a little bit daunting in that regard because, I felt like a child.
The what, 28-year-old young bull or something?
29-year-old, yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
that's pretty impressive. I mean, you normally expect it to be like 18, 19-year-olds doing this crap. But,
well, you got to get married, mate. You can't be 18, 19, get married.
Well, that brings me to my point, though, is that a lot of people, commentary around Longreach, people that weren't even talking about you because they, a lot of people.
Well, I don't believe that for a second.
Some people were talking about other people in town that are on the show. And they were surprised. They're like, oh, actually, that person, I don't know if we can name him, but that person.
Yeah, we can name Byron. He's a legend.
Byron.
Yeah,
Sparky,
he's everywhere.
Sparky with a heart, Byron, who I haven't actually met yet, funnily enough. We've been in this town. He's been here for years. I've been here for years. We've never crossed paths. So he probably hangs out with like the cool kids, and I'm sort of a new dad kind of vibe. But people said, well, he's not an actor. He seems like a pretty, reasonable, down-to-earth kind of guy. They were surprised. They didn't know that people like him ended up on shows like this. I don't know for Byron. So maybe his other friends were just like, oh yeah, of course he would go on this show. Like,
yeah.
But you went on there with intentions to potentially actually find love.
Yeah. I was just thinking on those comments you were saying, like, like Byron being such a great guy, someone you wouldn't expect to be on a show like this. And then everyone else in Longreach being like, wait, that Hayden guy's on as well. That makes sense.
They're yin and yang. They counter each other out.
Literally.
Some actors, some genuine people. So
I sort of, I always go into things with hope. It's a blessing and a curse. But yeah, that was very much my, I guess, hope. And then got on to the speed dating. Meet 19 girls, sort of run through them all. Run through them all.
When does that get aired? Is this why they moved you into the late night shift, the late night slot?
It's in there after dark. Jesus. Yes, no. So 2 minutes with everyone. Oh shit, this could be the same thing still.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, sort of rolled through. It was like a great experience in regards to like for everyone. I just recommend doing speed dating regardless because you learn so much about yourself in regards to what you're looking for in someone. Because for us, we couldn't say names, jobs, locations, any of that crap. So everything had to be of value, like that was going to influence your decision whether you wanted to pick them as one of your top three. So that was really good for me. And for me, I think by the end of it, I sort of figured out, what's the biggest risk you've taken was like the biggest question for me that I found with the most value. It's such a deal breaker for me if they're like, coming to this speed dating. I'm like, no. And then, mind you, when I had my 2 minutes with Amy,
hang on, yeah, go ahead, but past that and come back.
I didn't even get a chance to ask any of my questions. Like we were just cooking. Like the energy was just like bang.
We were cooking. It sounds like she was cooking at you. If you weren't saying anything, what? Come on.
I was saying things.
You're like, I didn't even remember if I even asked the question.
Well, it was just bad off the bat, and like,
right.
The chemistry was just instant. Like, because admittedly, she was straight away like, well. Yeah, she was like, I could climb you like a tree. And I was like, well, that sounds pretty fun. And then so I just sort of stayed along those lines. And, she was sort of pretty much my type. So it sort of made sense to go with it. And then, 2 minutes. And the iconic wink at the end was sort of the real not tire, I guess.
Yeah, not tire. We'll pay it.
Yeah, fuck, it was a bad line.
It's better than running through. I mean, it's the second weakest thing you've said.
Yeah. So that was and then that was sort of the main thing. I think other than that, it was all sort of. I honestly walked away from there. I was like, I think there's only one girl I vibed with out of everybody. So
and it was Amy.
Yeah. So I wasn't sure what was going to happen.
There you go.
Naturally. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that sounds fun. I mean, we could go into. You've told me a lot about the speed dating. We could go into like the actual. Sausage mince of like the waiting and the going up and the cold, hot, blah, blah, blah. But maybe another time if the audience really gets around this pod. So you go on speed dating and that's it for a while, I suppose. It's like this show, I mean, for people that don't know, they were like, this is a brand already. This show's been in other countries. They were hyping this thing up as like the MAFS, the new MAFS, the tropical MAFS, the MAFS Meet Survivor. That's what it was, which is massive. I mean, those are two big reality things. Funny enough, I haven't actually watched MAFS. For all my reality TV viewing, I can't bring myself to do it. It makes me feel too negative. It makes me feel bad. So anyway, so they put all of these datas and their experience into their little mechanism that pumps out good relationships or good drama or toxic explosions or whatever. And you're just waiting. And you hear that you didn't make the cut. Do you find out you're not on the show?
I don't think we can get into that sort of side of it.
What's you say? Jim Jeffries on the 1% Club.
Give us an hour.
Okay. So fast forwarding then to getting the call. Can you talk about getting the call to come out?
Well, I've always been waiting for my time to come out. I didn't think the podcast was going to be it. I think, I just got the call. And then, I had to be on a flight to Fiji pretty quickly. So I don't even know if I can really talk about that side of things.
Okay, great. We've got a lot to talk about, clearly. Jim Jeffries and the 1% Club. All right.
Yeah.
So can you talk about what you were doing overseas before you went on the show? Or is that top secret too?
Just talk about the show.
I've got more questions.
Who cares about sitting in a hotel?
hey, I don't know, you could have found love in the resort. I don't know. Probably can't say that. Probably can't say that. Anyway, look, let's get then to the big moment that happened last Tuesday night.
Or actually, on that, I couldn't have found love while I was waiting to go on because like I couldn't have contact with anyone. Like I was hidden. I was
this is interesting, mate.
Yeah, I thought of it. I was like, okay, fuck, that's not bad. Like they had to hide me from everyone, like the production crew, everyone. So there was only like certain people that knew, and then we had to like power walk through certain areas and just like get in my room, just lock me in my room.
That's elite. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool.
So that brings us to episode 9, actually. You mentioned that you'd popped up a number of times, a surprising amount of times prior.
Yeah.
You were kind of like a narrative point the whole way, which, I don't want to gas you up, but
man bun salmon jacket.
Man bun salmon jacket. Is it salmon jacket man bun or man bun salmon jacket? I feel like they changed somewhere along the way.
Yeah. Because like otherwise for short, just salmon jacket or man bun. Yeah.
How did you feel about your reception, your portrayal? It's all about your hair. It's all about your jacket. I mean, that's your identity now.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that being what they honed in on?
Well, we're still living with the pink jacket, the salmon jacket.
Hey, it's pretty sick. It's really cool.
It's not bad. It should make a vested version of it, I reckon. Trademark it. It was funny watching all the, I guess, little clips they had of me and the focus around the hair, which was pretty iconic. Like, yeah, I got so many snaps from the boys just being like, what are you doing? Why are you brushing your hair on my fucking TV?
I've written that down, like brushing his hair. I'm like, man, you were going at that thing, man. Like that was
dry brush too. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, okay, let's just brush my hair.
Yeah. But positive, negative, like were you sort of like, this is you on TV? Like, how are you feeling?
No, I was chilling. That was got some bangers from my intro as well.
The footy set. I mean,
worried. Oof.
The footy
set.
The song's kind of annoying, I'll be honest. I wish they picked
really
closer Chainsmokers. Like, did you get Midnight City?
Oh, true.
I would have loved to see that. That would have given me goosebumps, because that's kind of like it's an iconic DOS song.
Yeah, it is the Top Gun song though from Maverick, the second one. Have you not seen it?
Yeah,
when they're doing the shirtless
on the volleyball.
No, they do shirtless gridiron in the second one.
Right. Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's what I mean, man. Put some respect on my name.
all right. Cool song. I can't say it's all good, I mean, I have to take some criticisms. So you have also popped up on the Stranded socials at this point. Some comments from really nice people, probably people you know mostly. There was a lot of comments around Amy, Mike, and your love triangle, directed at Amy and directed at Mike, who are polarizing characters, I think would be safe to say. Would be truthful to say. There was one comment where Mike actually says that Salmon Jacket Man Bun looks like the type of guy that cries after sex. I want to know, and I think the viewers want to know, how did he know that? And how did it feel seeing some of the comments about yourself? Lisa Carroll popped off. She's I don't know who she is, but she was going to
shout outs to these fucking trolls. What the fuck?
These are your fans now, mate. You're not above them, mate. You're not better than Lisa Carroll and Mike from the show. This is your kid. People are allowed to comment. They're allowed to have a crack. I think some are right, some are wrong. Was Mike still on the island? Like, how did he know that? There's just salt in it was salt spray from the ocean. That's what it was. Yeah. Okay. So you're on the boat. What do you know as you're heading to the island? Are you like, I'm going to see Amy, or am I going to see number 73 who was whatever, something
was run
something
through.
Yeah.
No, I just knew nothing. So all I knew was that there was no husband there anymore.
Yeah.
So, so basically I could just, on the edge of the boat, I could see. I was like, okay, she's blonde. I was like, right, tick. And I was like, okay, she looks pretty small, but it's hard reception-wise. I'm like 200, 300 meters out.
Everyone looks small 300 meters away.
Yeah, literally. I was like, I know she's not 6 foot.
Is she an ant?
What is this, an island for ants? Literally, I knew nothing. No one told me anything. They didn't tell me who it was going to be. There was no clues. There was a lot of side eyes when they were like, who do you think it's going to be? And I was like, Amy. And they're like, oh. I was like, what does that mean? Is that confirmation or am I wrong?
Yeah.
So, yeah, then just had to jump in and
Easy
swim.
swimming. I mean, there's been some feedback that near drownings occurred hitting the water.
Yeah, I was never worried about drowning. Like, I'm not a bad swimmer, much to your disagreements for some reason. But yeah, the boots was tough, full kit. Obviously, I had to take the jacket off as well because it was so tight on my shoulders. Not anymore. Yeah, and I just would have ripped it. So I was like, "All right, I'll take it off." And then I'm swimming with one hand in boots, 200 meters out, and my hair was in a bun. But by the time I'd sort of dived in swimming, it was sort of half coming out of the bun. So then I'm like,
oh no, that could have been a deal breaker. If you're the salmon
literally.
jacket, no man bun. I mean, it's the
Fake
attraction
news.
there.
Fake news.
I've been catfished.
So yeah, just swim my way in, and then like as I sort of like, you know, the hair's coming into my mouth now, and like I'm struggling to breathe. I was like, jeez, and I didn't want to step with the coral because like
that's it.
I don't want to do that. You know, you're taught that in Queensland. You never step on coral.
Yeah,
and then obviously then I realized I was like swimming through this channel, and then I was like, there's no way to get to shore without stepping on the coral. So I was like, all right, here we go. And yeah, I had to get on. And then it was like knee deep, and I was like, fuck, this would be a lot easier because I'm exhausted by this point. And then yeah, she comes running out, and I tried to do like a little hair flick. Thankfully, they didn't put that in there. And my hair just like slapped me across the face. It was a massive pain.
Well, I'm shocked they didn't put that in because you know that would have been good content and good slow motion, like
literally slap across the face.
and there's Amy running down. You saw the footage. She was amped that it was you on that boat, and run down. And looks like did you get straight into making out? Did you get a big hug first, or?
Well, come on, man. It was a hug first. I had to get to know the girl first before any of that business. Yeah, so yeah, she came down, full barrel, which was great. Obviously for her, it was really interesting because for her, I was basically the only thing she'd been thinking about for the last 3 weeks. Whereas, like for me, I wasn't trapped on an island.
You were trapped in a box with your thoughts and no one to talk to. You were in a dark place.
It's not a safe place. So it was kind of like it was a little bit intense, pretty much from the get go, because obviously there was a fair bit of build up from her. So it was, I guess, a lot of the questions too was about me, as opposed to I was like, I still want to learn about you, like. So yeah, and then literally just sort of spent that first day just talking the whole time, just figuring out, learning a lot more about each other. And I think it was good because the energy from the speed dating was like just there straight away.
Good.
So it wasn't like time and done any damage, which was good. So we're able to, I guess, hit the ground running.
Well, you had to because there was like 2 days until the show was over.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, some of these couples had been on this island for like 19 days together. Is that too long, or they've been out there for ages just with each other?
I think total they're there for 21 days, and then I think I rocked up just after 2 weeks, so like 16, 17 days, somewhere around.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly, but yeah, I had 4 days there. Yeah, so rocked up full day. Which was good. Like it was good sort of getting to know her and having that sort of experience, like surviving as well. Cooking just pasta and salt water. And then, the shower wasn't bad because you had the view of like straight out of the ocean and you could heat up the bucket so that you'd have hot water. And that was probably my favorite part. I reckon. I love the shower.
What you touched on them a little bit, but what were the survival elements like? Like, were you being tested, or was it mostly like the producer was like, "Oh, mate, there's a fire over here if you want to go and cook something on it." Like,
yeah, it wasn't too bad for me because like when I got there, I think there was sort of like a crate or something must have rocked up for Amy, so she had a bit of like a welcoming food to cook.
Yeah.
So we had like a nice dinner. Still, pretty, there's like sand in everything. Like, everything you eat has sand. And then you got to hide everything else from the ants. And then,
the watermelon with all the ants.
Yeah. I was like, wow, I can't believe they used that footage. I kind of wanted more of that watermelon too. It's a bit filthy.
I think I saw that ant from the boat. That bastard.
Yeah. And then, then obviously the second day, that was where a lot of the drama really kicked off.
We're
So
talking Couples Cove.
we're talking Couples Cove. Yeah.
Day 2, Couples Cove. Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was tough viewing, man. That was. I mean, I'm not a confrontational guy. Like, obviously, when there's a time and place to stand your ground and have a chop, but you prefer to come from I prefer to know where I'm coming from, kind of thing. Whereas you pull up, obviously, that was already on the island. It seemed like some of the other couples weren't super. Well, Sam, let's just say, was not a big fan of Amy, and there was already kind of a hostile situation ready to go for Amy, no matter what.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, he loses his mate Mike, and you pull up on the island. Was it? I mean, even when the boys were hanging out, I mean, it didn't look fun, man. It looked kind of like
it was.
It looked really negative.
I wouldn't say negative. It was kind of awkward a little bit. Yeah, I think because Sam was leading the chat, sort of on my arrival, and I don't know, when he talks, it's funny because the footage they showed of him asking a question and me answering, and then him just not following up. Thinking, processing what I said.
Yeah,
and I was like,
interesting.
What is this conversation? Are we talking or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of funny. And obviously Chad, legend, Byron, legend, Manny was good too. I also shout out to Byron because this got glossed over. But the way that he just remembered my name instantly, and everybody else had forgotten, I heard that, and he was just it's Hayden when Manny forgot, and I was just like, geez, that's just a sign of a good bloke. That's
underrated,
proper
trait.
Good bloke moment. For him.
That's brilliant. Okay, because Byron, we'll touch on this. I mean, he's from what I can recall, he's pretty much had a hero edit. He's probably a good bloke by all accounts. They've given him a good treatment, the old producers, because they could probably do anything with anyone. So I mean, you got to get lucky still to get a good edit. Did you get a chance to actually hit it off with any of the guys? If Byron was a good bloke, and Chad was a good bloke, it doesn't seem like any connection was made between you and the guys based off of the show. That's just the viewing experience. It was you're sitting there, Sam's wide-aning your whole chances. Everyone's just kind of confused and not saying much. I don't know.
Yeah.
Was there a good vibe?
It was pretty accurate, to be fair, the way it's shown. It wasn't bad vibe. Not but you just didn't have any because I was the last couple there. You just didn't have long. You didn't have time to spend, and obviously it's all about the boys are trying to figure out who I am, what the hell's going on, what my crack is, and then obviously the dinner or the lunch, and then it's sort of game on in regards to the drama kicks off, so it sort of shimmies away from me. But yeah, that was, mate. You can't get a word in when Amy and Sam are going at each other. You can see I tried.
You're like, and they were just
hey, shut
up. So yeah, what was that like? Where you've got this connection with Amy, and it's been from speed dating to now. It's been consistent. It's been good. It's been fun. She's obviously, you would have known from speed dating that she's a chatterbox. She's passionate. She's chatty, etc. And strong of mind and thoughts and opinions. Yeah. You don't know Sam from Bar of Soap, only that he's kind of made some weird chat or some less than super welcoming chat with you previously. Yeah. What were you thinking there? Because you want to go to bat for your wife, but you're also hearing Sam putting across actually a pretty good case. Maybe not actually a true case, but definitely a good case. Yeah. What was that like?
Yeah, it was tough because I can only go off what I kind of see. I've only met Amy the day before. I've met Sam 10 minutes ago, and then they're just fighting. And I'm like, what? What is going on? And yeah, it was really tough because the comments Sam made to me in regards to Amy, they were jovial. He was just sort of having a bit of a laugh.
Love that use of word, by the way. I think you meant it in a jovial way.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of that. I took a risk.
Imagine. Yeah, I think he said he meant it in a kind of al dente kind of way, or some like word that doesn't even work.
Something completely not applicable. Yeah. So yeah, that was interesting. It was really it was just so intense, and I probably didn't handle it the best way I could have. But
what would you have done? Because according to viewers, like you just sat there, more or less like got steamrolled, didn't say anything much.
yeah.
The things you did say were pretty neutral at best, diplomatic, some might say. When it's kind of a tricky one because you're going back to your island with Amy, so you do kind of have to be on her side, and you sort of say, "Oh no, I don't think Sam was meant anything about what he said," kind of thing, which puts a spanner in the works. And I forgot what I was saying, but hopefully you remember.
Yeah, I think for me it was sort of like,
what would you have done differently?
Yeah, I don't know if I would have done too much different. Like, it wasn't my fight.
Yeah.
Like, it had nothing to do with me. Oh, it did a little bit, but what did have to do with me, I commented on, and I said it was a neutral response because it was a pretty neutral act. I didn't think, I didn't know Sam at this point, so I had no idea what he'd done, what his previous history was, what the couples codes before that were like. So, to me, I was like, well, this isn't enough of a reason to roast this bloke. So yeah, I don't think I changed anything really.
Something that I would change is a certain speech that I spent some good time writing. a best man speech sent to the island for you to read. Didn't get aired. I mean, I'm hurt. I'm personally hurt. If you wonder if I've been sounded a little bit bitter towards the show, that's why I got cut. I was axed.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. It was kind of funny because, like, she had to read what you wrote about me, and then I had to read what her maid of honor wrote about her, and then, but like, me, mate, I'm like dyslexic, so like, this is the first time meeting all these people. There's all these cameras and everything else around, and I've just got to read this speech. Holy shit, I was stressed. I was stressed out of my brains.
You like calling her like Ali or like Amanda. What is this word?
Yeah. So maybe I'm the reason why you didn't make the cut because they were like, this guy's just stuttering through. We can't use that footage.
Yeah. Also, I'm disappointed because we can talk. If you got more to say about Couples Cove, then so be it. But then visitors came out, and I didn't get the call to come out and visit you on the island, and that's BS as well because I would have come. I would have been there for sure.
Yeah. No, you would have cramped me style. It was too early in. Yeah, I had to figure out what was going on with Amy first before I needed another input. Tell you what, could have used some input from you later on, but we'll have to watch and see.
Let's see. A classic transition. This came up in the watch party group chat. Was that it was some intense stuff happening when the families came out. Some serious conversations about like, are we serious? Is this going to work outside? Past family relationships. Like, it was some really touching stuff. Cut to Doss and Amy, and Doss is pulling his clothes off and pulling Amy into the water. Like, there was the most unhinged transition. I think it was like a serious story to like, I'm looking at Doss's cheeks on TV. Like, insane.
I think, like, did it go from like Chad getting roasted by George's dad? Then all of a sudden it's just my fucking white cheeks running into the ocean. Yeah, that was a bit of a hot take. I didn't think me skinny dipping was going to be there, but
it was a great edit. I think it was great edit. It was lighten things up for sure.
Yeah. Well, we were living up the honeymoon island. We fresh start. We only didn't have long. It was just bang energy. Let's do something fun. Let's just no drama here.
Yeah, some of the relationships must have been like really incompatible because they didn't even last like 20 minutes. You're on this beautiful island, you'd be having the best time of your life, maybe with someone you're not going to end up with. But I mean, like, they couldn't even put that aside. It seemed like they were just like, this all sucks. Sucks my partner's here, not having a good time. Like, could you at least have a good time?
Yeah, it's like that Tom guy. Get rid of
him. Another thing that happened was Amy, it seemed like, was moving very fast for you at the end of episode 10. Your comments were very like getting cold feet. The commitment phobe was really starting to come out. I mean, Bree was a commitment phobe from the start of the season. You were starting to look like the commitment phobe at the end of the season. What was that like? Was it a love bomb finally coming back your way?
There was definitely a love bomb coming my way, for sure. Probably nuclear. Yeah. And I think, what you see is very much me struggling to just manage it, I guess, manage my own expectations and see where, it's just so, literally having no contact with anyone else in the world, no phones, no nothing like that. Like, you actually really get a chance to really think about yourself and your emotions and all the rest of it. So, yeah, I think a lot of it was just me processing, hadn't been there that long and had to make some pretty big decisions. So yeah, we'll see what happens next week.
How'd you feel about your shirtless shots? You got your kit off fairly quick, not just skinny dipping, but the shirt came off as well. How'd you feel about that?
Not bad. There were some good shots. There were some bad shots, but there were some good shots.
No one looks good sitting down, mate. I know the ones you're talking about. I also saw some strategic knee placement where you'd I
didn't even do that. Was there, but I was very happy with that. And then the arms all jacked, hanging on.
Now there's a lot of questions I've still got. We're not done yet. This is part one of a two-parter, possibly not no two-parter, let's just face it. I
can't afford to pay you for another pod.
And there's episodes 11 and 12, the final episodes coming out on Wednesday.
Tuesday, 8:30. Back to back, baby. That's going to be a fun night.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah. Hell yeah. There's a lot of questions coming my way, and I'm like, people, you just got to see. You got to see. It's very different. Yeah, I reckon. It's not what I expected, and it's not what I don't think anyone else would expect it. So
that is the most cryptic, confusing. It sounds good. It's a good sizzle for sure. I can't imagine it's going to be. There's a lot. That's a lot. It's pretty exciting. Dos.
Yeah. No, it should be fun. Should be very fun. I don't think there'll be any more of my naked butt though. So
true.
Sorry about that. Sorry for the peeps tuning in just for my tush.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Frankly, I hate that I was sitting there, I was taking notes when you're naked on the screen. I'm just like, man, this is not what. I'm sitting watching this thing. I'm bottle feeding my newborn. Dos is his kid off on TV. I'm like, this isn't how it's supposed to be.
That's your Uncle Dos.
I have given her some of those. Darling, you must never go on a show like this. So whatever Uncle Dos says, do not follow his footsteps.
Find love, man. She can find love. My sister had to watch my stripping scene with my parents. They were down, and so they were watching it all together. And I was like, she messaged me straight afterwards. She's like,
what
"You
the
son
hell,
of a
man?
bitch." I was like, it's actually made my day knowing that happened.
I can imagine the squirming that was happening.
We'll get back into it after the final two episodes. Game begins. See what happens. Does Dos find love?